Hello there, nice to see you again. And as I promised, here the second part of the travel phrasal verbs you will definitely find useful. If you haven't seen yet my video lesson with the first part of travel phrasal verbs, you can check them here. The link is in the upper right corner of the screen, or you can find it in the description to this video lesson. Shall we start? Today we'll begin with these phrasal verbs. You can use them if you need to say that you break your journey for some time before moving further. Stop over, stop off, put up. Stop over. The phrasal verb to stop over is used when you stay at a place for one night or a couple of nights on your way to somewhere else or before returning home. For example, that's a great place to stop over. We always stop over at this hotel on our way to New York. Stop off. The phrasal verb to stop off has a similar meaning. You can use it when you visit some place or stay there for a short period of time, or when actually you're going somewhere else. For example, are you planning to stop off somewhere? We'll stop off in San Francisco for 2 days. Put up. And the phrasal verb to put up. You can use this one if you need to stay somewhere for the night. You can use it also when you need to erect a tent to stay inside for some time. For example, they were very tired and decided to put up at the nearest hotel. Would you like to put up here? As for these phrasal verbs, a person can use them when they finish their journey, their travels come to an end, or when they return home after being somewhere else. Come back, go back, get back, bring back, end up, settle down. Come back. When you need to say that you return to some place or some person, use this phrasal verb, come back. For example, he just came back from his business trip. They came back from the expedition 2 weeks ago. Go back. The same meaning has this phrasal verb, to go back. It means to return somewhere, after being somewhere else for some time. For example, after seeing all this beauty, they didn't want to go back. When are you going back from your travels? Get back from. And one more phrasal verb with a similar meaning, to get back. It means to return to a place after you've been somewhere else, like to get back home, or to get back to your country, get back to your roots, etc. For example, they got back from their trip very tired but very happy. She got back from vacation with a whole bunch of photos. Bring back. Bring back is used when you come back from somewhere and you bring something with you from that place. For example, she always brings back souvenirs from her trips. I asked them to bring me back something local. End up. You can use this phrasal verb when you arrive somewhere, and very often it happens unintentionally. For example, they traveled across Europe and ended up in Warsaw. After 2 months of traveling around Latin America, they ended up in Argentina. And settle down. Settle down means to start living in a particular place where you have plans to stay for a long time, or at least for a couple of years, and usually with your partner or your whole family. For example, after traveling around the world for years, he finally settled down. They moved a lot and never stayed for a long time in one place, but last year they decided to settle down. As for the rest phrasal verbs that you will learn today, you will definitely need them to describe your traveling in general, like pass by. It means to move or travel past someone, something, or someplace on your way to somewhere else. For example, are we going to pass by that beautiful castle on our way home? We passed by lots of tourist attractions traveling to LA. Come across. When going somewhere you meet somebody or find something by chance, you can use the phrasal verb to come across and say that you came across them. For example, we came across this spot traveling to Paris 2 years ago. He came across this house on his way home. Drop off. This phrasal verb is very common and is used in everyday situations. It means to take someone or something to some place and leave them there, usually when you need to go somewhere else, like when you need to take your kids to school on your way to work, or after a fantastic trip to the mountains you need to drop your friends off at their house and go to your own place. For example, we dropped our friends off at their house and drove further. Could you please drop me off at the next corner? Move on. The phrasal verb to move on can be used if you want to say that you're going to continue your trip or journey after a short stop somewhere. For example, can we move on now? After staying there for a couple of days, he moved on. Get in, get into. When talking about traveling, the phrasal verb get in or get into can be used if you need to say that you want to go inside a car, a taxi, a building, or a room. And secondly, when you want to say that some person or some kind of vehicle arrives at a place where people expect them. For example, she got in a taxi and went to the airport. They should get into Paris at 9:30 p.m. Get out. If on the contrary you want to say that you leave a car, taxi, some building or room, you need to use this verb, to get out. For example, when we arrived, I paid and got out of the taxi. Get out of the car and let's go for a walk. Get on. If on the other hand you need to say that you go onto a bus, train, airplane or boat, in this case you will need this phrasal verb, to get on. For example, the captain welcomed all the passengers as they were getting on the ship. She was so happy to get on a plane and get away. Get off. And the last travel phrasal verb for today is to get off. You can use it when you need to say that you leave a bus, train, airplane, or boat. For example, they got off the plane and were taken to the hotel. Get off the train at Garden Station and walk 2 blocks. Now let's have some practice. You will need here to correct the phrasal verbs from today's lesson. Pay attention, sometimes it's not about the preposition, but the grammar tense is incorrect. Thank you very much for being with me today. I hope you liked the lesson. If yes, please give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel where I share my lessons with you guys. Your homework for today is to choose at least 3 phrasal verbs and make your own sentences with them. Write them in the comments below. Come back from time to time and rewatch the lesson to memorize these travel phrasal verbs better. Once again, here's my first part with the travel phrasal verbs. Check the lesson here or on my website. See you guys in my other lessons. Wish you all the best. Take care.